Virabhadrasana 2, the second pose of Virabhadra. Virabhadra was a great warrior in Indian legend, so this is often called Warrior Pose 2. Jane begins in Tadasana, jumps into Uttita Hastapadasana, then moves into Parshva Hastapadasana. Next, she bends her right leg and sinks into Virabhadrasana 2. As we look at Jane's pose, we can see her right knee has sagged forward as her hip moved back. She's leaning forward over her right leg and her left leg has collapsed. This is hard on her knees. Let's have her return to Uttita Hastapadasana and try the other side. Jane wants to keep her alignment from Parshva Hastapadasana as she sinks into Virabhadrasana 2. She wants her left hip and knee to remain in line with her foot. Jane has rolled to the inside of her right foot, causing her leg to bend and drop inward. Instead, Jane wants to lift her right ankle, drive weight onto the outside of her right foot, and stretch her leg by lifting the thigh up and out. Then she wants to press her right thigh back as she rotates her hip out and back. Jane wants to lift her torso upright, away from her leg, by leveling her hips. Then she wants to lift upward, just as in Tadasana, while she stretches her arms to the side. To complete the pose, Jane turns her head to gaze across the middle finger of her left hand. To exit the pose, Jane imagines someone pulling on her right hand as she presses down through her feet and lifts from the base of her pelvis. Jane then returns to Uttita Hastapadasana and jumps back to Tadasana. Let's watch Jane's skeleton in Virabhadrasana 2. As we look at her initial pose, we can see how her right knee sagged toward the front of her mat as her hip went back. Her pelvis is tilted toward her bent leg, causing her to lean forward, and she's rolled her right foot in, losing the stretch on her left leg. Let's have her try the other side. This time Jane works to keep her knee and hip in line with her foot. She evens the weight on her right foot by driving down through the outside of her heel and lifting her thigh. Then she wants to roll her hip back and out as she presses her thigh back. To lift her torso away from her leg, Jane needs to make her pelvis level. Then she wants to stretch up as she reaches out through her arms. As Jane turns her head to the left, she works to keep her shoulders level. To exit, Jane pushes down with her feet and lifts from the base of her pelvis as she pulls back through her right arm. She then returns to Uttita Hastapadasana before jumping back to Tadasana.